So, good afternoon. Here we are on this festive bank holiday fixture where we've just travelled away to local rivals Raynes Park Vale and recorded our third draw on the bounce against top 6, top 7 opposition. So, Sam, what's your thoughts over the last couple of games? Three good points or any frustrations?
Coming into the festive period of December, these 3 games, I think we looked at it and gone, yeah, okay, we'll take those points at that time. Obviously going up against top opposition. I think we obviously grinded out the result with Chertsey, showed the character obviously to come back from Bagshot Lee. Today was probably a little bit more disappointing, and that's not actually being disrespectful to Raynes Park. It was more that we probably had the opportunities to go in and take that result, especially with them going down to 10 men. You know, and that's one of the sort of frustration pieces now. And I obviously said to the boys, we've set a bar now. And people hopefully will sort of show a little bit of respect, obviously, when they come up against us, because yeah, look, we've not lost to the top 6 now in 3 games.
Yeah, I feel like when they went down to 10 men, it maybe kind of worked against us a little bit today, because I thought we opened for the first time in a few games. I thought we opened really brightly. We was getting a lot of joy down the right hand side. We were getting balls into the box, causing them problems. Then obviously we witnessed the sending off, which, you know, by the sound of it, depending on where you stand, was whether you think it was or wasn't. But at that point, I just felt maybe we would have been a bit, maybe we perhaps might have, because it was quite early, you know, tweak things up, maybe look to get, you know, more bodies forward and perhaps pin them back a little bit. But I think we seem to kind of be quite consistent. So was that a deliberate ploy? You know, what was the thinking behind that?
It was. I just didn't want to get undone. I think it'd have been sort of the worst case scenario is that if you lose that game going for it, it's not where we need to be right now. I think right now it's away game against a top side, you know, top 2. They have to be respected. You saw that from the players that came on. Jermaine Green, Palace, for instance, obviously came on. You know, you have to respect them. I think if we'd gone here and in there a little bit too quickly, a little bit of naivety might have undone us. So we just tried to keep our discipline. To be honest, there were times actually we did come off the plan, and that's probably really where we've probably gone a bit unstuck in terms of maybe not getting 3 points. We had a chance there. One of our players obviously going through lad slips, and you know the final pass is not good enough, and that's the difference between 1 point and 3 points. But I think if we'd sent too many too soon, it might have obviously done us a little bit, because they were pretty clever on the counter.
Yeah, they were, and I think I guess that's my observation from these 3 games. I think, you know, we've had lion's share of minutes and action in all 3 games. You know, we've had good spells, but other teams do look like they have the ability to cause problems on the counter attack. So I guess that's credit to the guys, really, in terms of the fact that we've kept down the scoring opportunities to minimal. So changing goal today.
Yeah.
Seems to be something we talk about every week at the moment.
God, yeah, it is.
Yeah. So how did that come about, and what was behind that?
So obviously James has got a little bit of an injury that he will have a final scan in the next week or so we'll know how long that was going to be lasting for. O'Shane, with his work, unfortunately had the short straw of having a Boxing Day shift, so we had to act fast. So obviously thank you to Kelly at Whiteley for obviously allowing us to have James Shaw today. I thought had a cracking game, but he's not someone. He's not a step 6 goalkeeper. He's someone that's been playing the level, and he knew what he needed to do, and he knows a few of the boys as well. And he looked like he'd been here for longer than 10 minutes.
Yeah, to be fair, he's a good foil, James, isn't he? And he's got I think someone said about 500 caps under his belt, so yeah. He was never going to be a risk today. He was a good solid replacement. And as you say, thank you to AFC Whiteley and Kelly for allowing him to come and play for us during this period when they've got no games. Probably done him a favour, kept him ticking over as well. So squad in general, obviously, you know, we've just touched upon obviously James Dillon there waiting for the scan. What's the other injury prospects, and where are we at? Any sort of incoming expected, or any outgoing, or any back from injuries?
So Matthew Tanton's obviously ramping up now. He's obviously been on the bench a couple of times. I think with coming back from an injury that he had, obviously there's going to be little tweaks and a little bit of soreness here and there, but obviously we're trying to ramp him up into a position where we can get some minutes for him and slowly integrate him back into the team. Conan was obviously here today, you know, watching. He's dying to get back in. He's back in the gym now, obviously, after his injury. It'll definitely be obviously the new year for him. I expect probably within a sort of one or 2 weeks of the new year, we'll probably see him back in training. Just got to watch him because you obviously know what he's like. But you know, I know he's dying to get back, and you know, as much as I love that, I want to make sure that we're obviously looking after him. Yeah.
Ashley went off today at half time. I think Ashley's been very good last 2 games for us since he's had the door kicked open. I think Rooney's non-availability was more personal, so I guess he's probably back in the mix, is he, for next week?
Yeah, Rooney's timed it for a trip to Guernsey. I don't know how he's done it, but no, Ash has been superb, to be honest. You know, he's not just filled in; he looks cemented in there, and it'd be very hard to obviously dislodge him. So unfortunately, he had to come off today. He has very much been a box to box for us. You know, saw him in there. He told me about his ribs at the start of the game. We said we'd see how we'd get through. He could see he was feeling it. I think we were about 40 minutes in, and I see him making you know, the diving header into the corner there after obviously their breakaway. And you know, they're the sort of players that help you get points.
I must have got the wrong end of the stick, because when he was talking about ribs, I thought he was just talking about something else he'd eaten over the Christmas period.
Yeah. No, he's lost it. He's lost a bit of definition, hasn't he, over the last couple of days.
We've had, actually, you know, so just briefly touching on that, I guess, you know, was you happy with the start that the lads made today, especially given the, you know, that they've probably been overindulging for the last 48 hours?
Well, considering they had to roll me out of the change room as well, because I know how much I ate, and I was contemplating what they're doing. But then, and I heard one of the lads serving up lasagna as a starter. Was their conversation. I was a little bit worried, but they seem to literally come out of the blocks. So maybe they had less food than the other boys.
Yeah, for sure. Listen, you know, so 3 points in 3 days, 3 games. Sorry, good. You know, on paper, really good. So certainly something for us to build on.
Yep.
Next up, trip to Guernsey.
Yeah.
Is it a 6-pointer?
Listen, I'll take 3 points. I'm not getting into that. 3 points. That's all I see. That's what I want. I want 3 points at the end of the day, and that goes into any game we go into, whether it was Chertsey, Raynes Park. You know, we're always out there to try and win, not just to not lose the game at the end of the day. And Guernsey, listen, we need to silence it early doors. You've seen what happens there. If you're leave them in the game too long, Mr. Allen suddenly turns up or something like that. So we just need to make sure we go in there and see the game through all the way, and hopefully come back with the points that will top off a pretty decent December.
Absolutely, Sam. Listen, enjoy the rest of the day. I'm assuming that no one's going to be standing around too long today, but well done to you and the lads, and we'll see you next Saturday. Thank you very much.
Cheers. Thanks.